Tom Brady's stint as minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders is shaping up similar to his broadcasting career, just average. And that's not good enough to satisfy anyone. We assumed that Brady would bring a brand new approach to team building, like Bill Belichick did in New England in the early 2000s. But is hiring 72-year-old Pete Carroll and trading for 34-year-old Geno Smith an innovative approach? At worst, Carroll is another version of the Raiders hiring John Gruden, a Super Bowl-winning coach who is supposed to bring respectability to the franchise. At best, Brady has managed to recreate the Geno Smith Seahawks, who failed to win a playoff game. Brady is a victim of his own success. His broadcasting debut wasn't terrible, the equivalent of a .500 season. But since he had just 1.500 season in 22 years as a starting QB, 8-9 with the Bucs in 2022, and they still made the playoffs, that was considered a disappointment. Now that he's emerged as the primary team builder in Las Vegas, expectations will rise quickly. A string of near .500 seasons would be considered a failure. He owns 5% of the team, but he'll own 90% of the blame if the Raiders don't win. A Raiders fan might be happy with 8 wins this season. But that could put them in an even worse position, NFL limbo. Carroll as coach and Smith at QB make them too good to bottom out, but not good enough to compete for a Super Bowl. Reportedly, Brady's first choice for head coach was Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who took the Bears' job. And we know the Raiders desperately wanted Matthew Stafford to be their quarterback. Their pivot to Carroll and Smith feels like watered-down consolation prizes. Not a bold strategy for reinventing a franchise. The history of GOATs turned owner/executive is bleak. Michael Jordan's on-court brilliance didn't translate to the owner's box in Charlotte. Derek Jeter failed as CEO of the Miami Marlins. John Elway won a Super Bowl while running the Denver Broncos, but had trouble finding consistency after Peyton Manning retired. Guys like Brady, Jordan, and Jeter are so used to winning, they expect every endeavor to follow the same path. But new roles require new skills. Brady learned that the hard way in the television booth. He was mercilessly criticized after getting off to a slow start at Fox. He's improved, but even now there's speculation he will eventually drop the TV gig to focus full-time on the Raiders. Brady faces a tough assignment. The Raiders have reached the playoffs only twice since the '02 Super Bowl. The roster is still incomplete because of poor personnel decisions during the Gruden era. And they're in the brutally competitive AFC West. To get out of this hole, Brady is going to have to take bold action.